From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are following at this hour. A fast-moving wildfire destroyed a historic lodge and dozens of other structures on the Grand Canyon's north rim, forcing officials to close that area for the season, the park said on Sunday. The Grand Canyon Lodge, the only lodging inside the park at the North Rim, was consumed by the flames, Park Superintendent Ed Keeble told park residents, staff, and others in a meeting Sunday morning. He said the visitor center, the gas station, a wastewater treatment plant, an administrative building, and some employee housing were among the 50 to 80 structures lost. Numerous historic cabins in the area also were destroyed, the park said. Two wildfires are burning at or near the North Rim, known as the White Sage Fire and the Dragon Bravo Fire. The latter is the one that impacted the lodge and other structures. Started by lightning on July 4th, the Dragon Bravo Fire was initially managed by authorities with a confine and contain strategy to clear fuel resources. They shifted to aggressive suppression a week later as it rapidly grew to 7.8 square miles, because of hot temperatures, low humidity, and strong wind gusts, fire officials said. No injuries have been reported. Millions of people visit Grand Canyon National Park annually, with most going to the more popular Southern Rim. The North Rim is open seasonally. It was evacuated last Thursday because of wildfire and will remain closed for the rest of the season, the park said in a statement. The floodwaters in Texas may have receded, but the search has stopped due to more bad weather. More heavy rains in Texas on Sunday temporarily paused a week-long search for victims of catastrophic flooding along the Guadalupe River and led to dozens of high-water rescues elsewhere as storms damaged homes, stranded motorists, and put some residents under evacuation orders. It was the first time a new round of severe weather had paused the search since the July 4th holidays, which killed at least 132 people. Authorities believe more than 160 people may still be missing in Kerr County alone, and 10 more in neighboring areas. In Kerrville, where local officials have come under scrutiny over whether residents were adequately warned about the rising water in the early morning hours of July 4th, authorities went door to door to some homes after midnight early Sunday to alert people that flooding was again possible. Authorities also pushed phone alerts to those in the area. By late Sunday afternoon, the Kerr County's Sheriff's Office announced that search teams in the western part of that county could resume their efforts, but more than 100 miles north in San Saba County, the floods damaged about 100 homes and knocked down untold lengths of cattle fencing, said Ashley Johnson, CEO of the Hill Country Community Action Association, a local nonprofit. Anything you can imagine in a rural community was damaged, she said. Our blessing is it was daylight and we knew it was coming. Governor Greg Abbott said on X that the state was making rescues in San Saba, Lampasas, and Schleicher counties, and that evacuations were taking place in a handful of others. Texas Task Force 1, a joint state and federal urban search and rescue team, had rescued dozens of people in the Lampasas area, Abbott said. County officials ordered everyone living in flood-prone areas near the San Saba River to evacuate. Johnson said people were being moved to the San Saba Civic Center, which has become a safe high place for people to receive aid and shelter. Everyone is in some way personally affected by this, she said. Everyone is just doing what they can to help their neighbors. And finally, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte is set to meet President Donald Trump this week on the heels of the U.S. leader announcing plans to sell NATO allies weaponry that they can then pass on to Ukraine. Rutte will be in Washington on Monday and Tuesday and plans to hold talks with President Trump, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, as well as members of Congress. I'm going to have a meeting with the Secretary General who's coming in tomorrow, Trump told reporters as he arrived in Washington on Sunday night. But we basically are going to send them various pieces of very sophisticated weapons, and they're going to pay us 100% for them. A top ally of Trump, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, said Sunday that the conflict is nearing an inflection point as Trump shows growing interest in helping Ukraine fight back Russia. It's a cause that Trump, who during his campaign made quickly ending the war a top priority, had previously dismissed as being a waste of taxpayer money. That's the news at this hour. PEP Radio is now on Alexa. Just tell your device, Alexa, play PEP Radio. You can also listen to PEP Radio through the Live 365 app on Roku or on the PEP Radio page at paequality.com. If you are watching our news content on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.